Imagine a car so powerful, so advanced, and so rare that it forced one of the greatest automakers in history to quit racing while standing at the very top. The year was 1955, and the world had never seen anything like the Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR, a car that redefined performance, innovation, and tragedy, all in a single heartbeat. This isn't just a machine. This is a legend carved in silver, born to conquer, and destined to become the most expensive car ever sold. The Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR was created for one purpose: to dominate world sports car racing. Built on the foundation of the Formula One winning W196 Grand Prix car, it carried the same advanced DNA that made Mercedes unstoppable in the mid-1950s. But where the Grand Prix car was limited to circuits, the 300 SLR was built for the open road, a ruthless blend of speed, endurance, and engineering brilliance that could tear through mountains, cities, and straightaways with equal grace. Under its long, flowing aluminum body sat a 3.0-liter straight-eight engine, capable of producing around 310 horsepower, numbers that were otherworldly for the time. What made it even more remarkable was the engine's design. Instead of a conventional crankshaft setup, Mercedes used a desmodromic valve system with direct fuel injection, a technology taken straight from their F1 program. The result was razor-sharp throttle response, explosive acceleration, and an engine that could rev like nothing else of its era. This wasn't just power, it was precision, born from racing science. But the real magic of the 300 SLR wasn't only under the hood. Its lightweight magnesium alloy body, known as Electron, made the car incredibly light, just around 880 kilograms. That meant power-to-weight figures that could challenge anything on four wheels. Every curve, every vent, and every line of that silver body was functional, crafted in the wind tunnel for aerodynamic efficiency. The car could reach speeds close to 290 kilometers per hour, a figure that placed it decades ahead of its time. In 1955, there was simply nothing on the planet that could match its blend of speed and stability. Mercedes entered the 300 SLR into the 1955 World Sports Car Championship, and it immediately began to dominate. Legendary drivers like Stirling Moss and Juan Manuel Fangio took the wheel, pushing the car beyond limits that most thought were humanly impossible. The Mille Miglia of 1955 became the moment of legend. Stirling Moss, with navigator Dennis Jenkinson beside him, piloted the 300 SLR over 1,000 miles of dangerous Italian roads. Their average speed? A staggering 98 miles per hour, on open public roads through towns, mountains, and countryside. It remains one of the most heroic drives in motorsport history, a record that would never be broken. The 300 SLR was fast, but it was also intelligent. Mercedes engineers equipped it with an air brake, a hinged flap at the rear that would deploy under braking, reducing speed and stabilizing the car at high velocity. It was one of the earliest uses of aerodynamic braking in motorsport, decades before it became common in supercars. The suspension was fully independent, ensuring that even at breakneck speeds, the 300 SLR handled with surgical precision. Drivers described it as perfectly balanced, terrifyingly fast yet somehow controllable. But in June 1955, everything changed. During the 24 Hours of Le Mans, one of the Mercedes 300 SLRs, driven by Pierre Levegh, collided with another car and flew into the crowd. The magnesium body ignited instantly, and the crash killed more than 80 spectators. It was the darkest day in motorsport history. Even though Mercedes wasn't found responsible for the cause, the company made a decision that shocked the world. They immediately withdrew from all racing activities. The 300 SLR had achieved glory, but its legacy was now stained with tragedy. Mercedes wouldn't return to racing for more than 3 decades. After that, the remaining 300 SLRs were retired from competition, but 2 special versions were built. The 300 SLR Uhlenhaut Coupe, named after Mercedes' chief engineer Rudolf Uhlenhaut. These were hardtop versions of the racer, combining the performance of the 300 SLR with a grand touring design. Uhlenhaut himself used one as his personal company car. He reportedly once drove from Stuttgart to Munich, a distance of over 230 kilometers, in just under an hour. That meant he averaged nearly 160 kilometers per hour on public roads in the 1950s, something almost unimaginable even today. Only 2 of those Uhlenhaut coupes were ever built, and they became mythic within the automotive world. Both were kept by Mercedes-Benz, locked away as priceless pieces of history. Then in 2022, One of them was quietly auctioned to a private collector for an astonishing $143 million, making it the most expensive car ever sold. That price wasn't just for a vehicle, it was for a story, a legacy, and a symbol of engineering perfection that shaped the future of high-performance cars forever. When you look at the Mercedes 300 SLR today, it feels less like an old machine and more like a time capsule from a golden age of innovation. Every inch of it tells a story about ambition and risk, about what happens when technology and human courage collide. It was the product of a company that believed no limit was too high, no dream too big, and no challenge too impossible. It introduced engineering ideas that are still found in modern cars: lightweight materials, aerodynamic braking, advanced fuel systems, and driver-focused design. The 300 SLR's influence ripples through decades of Mercedes history. Without it, there might never have been the 300 SL Gullwing, the SLS AMG, or even the hypercar-level AMG 1. Its DNA is written into every performance Mercedes built since. The sound of its straight-8 engine, the flash of its silver body, and the sheer courage it took to race it, all became part of the legend that defines Mercedes-Benz today. In an era when racing was raw and deadly, the 300 SLR represented both the beauty and the danger of speed. It was the pinnacle of human engineering, driven by men who risked everything for glory. But it was also the reminder that greatness comes with a cost. That balance between brilliance and tragedy is what makes the 300 SLR unforgettable. Nearly 70 years later, no other car combines history, technology, and emotion the way this one does. It's a symbol of a time when Mercedes-Benz didn't just build cars, they built legends. The 300 SLR wasn't created to sit in a museum or be sold for millions. It was born to race, to win, and to change the world's understanding of what was possible on four wheels. And even though its engine no longer roars on the racetrack, its spirit still echoes every time a new Mercedes performance machine comes to life. Because once you've built a car like the 300 SLR, you've already touched perfection. And perfection, once achieved, never fades.